Welcome to Knowledge Journey, where we explore the unseen corners of the human mind and society. Today, we delve into a phenomenon that reveals much about our darkest psychological tendencies, the bystander effect. Imagine walking through a busy street and suddenly a person collapses in front of a bustling cafe. People notice, yet they merely pause, glance, and move on. Why does this happen? Why do people, in the face of an emergency, often freeze or withdraw, even when they're capable of helping? This is what we call the bystander effect, a psychological phenomenon where individuals are less likely to offer help to a victim when other people are present. But what lurks beneath this surface behavior is not just simple apathy or confusion. It involves complex psychological warfare within the minds of each bystander. Today, we'll uncover the layers of fear, social conditioning, and silent conflicts that play out silently within individuals who find themselves as bystanders in critical situations. By understanding the dark psychology behind this effect, we can not only become better individuals, but also forge a society that's more empathetic and responsive. Stay tuned as we take you through real-life incidents, scientific studies, and expert insights to decode the mysterious and often misunderstood bystander effect. As we venture deeper into our journey, let's start with the basics of the bystander effect. This phenomenon isn't just about ignoring a call for help. It's rooted in our very psychology and societal structures. The term bystander effect was first popularized in the 1960s following the tragic case of Kitty Genovese in New York City. Reports at the time suggested that numerous witnesses did nothing as she was attacked. This led to a surge in research trying to understand why witnesses often do not help. Researchers John Darley and Bib Latatne proposed that two major factors contribute to this effect: the diffusion of responsibility and social influence. Diffusion of responsibility means that when more people are present, individuals feel less personally responsible to act. Social influence means that people monitor others to determine if an action is necessary. If everyone is passive, the situation might not seem as dire as it truly is. Let's visualize this. Imagine you're at a concert with thousands of fans and someone faints. You might think, surely someone closer, perhaps more qualified, will step in. This thought process is quite common and illustrates the diffusion of responsibility. Now let's ground this with some numbers. In a landmark 1968 study by Darley and Latatne, they found that when a person was alone during an emergency, they were likely to help 85% of the time. But add more bystanders into the mix, and the likelihood of any one person helping dropped significantly, sometimes to below 30%. This decrease in intervention isn't just about selfishness. It's about a complex web of human psychology that we often navigate subconsciously. In the next segment, we'll peel back the curtain on the darker individual psychological mechanisms at play in these scenarios. Stay tuned as we delve deeper into the shadows of the human psyche. Now, let's turn the lens inward and explore the darker, more complex aspects of the bystander effect. Beyond the external social dynamics, there's a tumultuous inner psychological struggle that often goes unnoticed. When confronted with an emergency, individuals don't simply calculate responsibilities or follow the crowd. There's a deeper, more instinctual process at work. Fear is a major player in this arena. Not just fear of physical harm, but fear of social judgment, making a mistake, or overstepping boundaries. This fear can paralyze, leading to inaction even when someone knows they should help. To bring this to life, consider the following scenario. You're in a subway station and you see someone being harassed. Your first instinct might be to intervene, but then the fear creeps in. What if I get hurt? What if others think I'm overreacting? These questions aren't just thoughts. They are powerful psychological barriers. Research supports this notion. A study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology analyzed how perceived danger influences the likelihood of bystander intervention. It found that as perceived risk in a situation increased, the likelihood of intervention decreased. Participants were less likely to intervene in situations they perceived as dangerous, highlighting the role fear plays in inhibiting action. Another dark facet of this psychology is the concept of moral disengagement. In some cases, bystanders mentally reframe a situation to lessen their moral obligation to act. They might think, "It's not as bad as it looks," or "They probably deserve what's happening." This psychological distancing allows individuals to wash their hands of responsibility, reducing emotional discomfort associated with failing to act. Moreover, the ambiguity of a situation can significantly affect bystander behavior. When the correct action is unclear, people are more likely to defer to doing nothing, relying on the social proof provided by others' inaction. This ambiguity in emergency situations often leads to what psychologists call analysis paralysis, where the overload of considerations prevents any decisive action. Understanding these internal battles is crucial, not only for academic and practical approaches to the bystander effect, but also for personal growth. Recognizing these dark psychological patterns in ourselves can empower us to overcome them, fostering a more courageous and proactive community. Next, we will explore some of the tragic real-life consequences of the bystander effect, providing not only a historical perspective, but also a current view on how these psychological insights translate into real-world scenarios. Stay with us as we continue to unravel the complex tapestry of human behavior in the face of crises. As we've delved into the psychological intricacies of the bystander effect, it's crucial to understand the tangible, often tragic consequences of this phenomenon in real-world situations. Let's examine how inaction can lead to irreversible outcomes and reflect on the profound impact of our collective silence. Consider the haunting story of Wang Yu, a 2-year-old girl in China who was tragically run over in 2011. Surveillance footage showed that multiple passersby noticed her lying injured on the street, but chose to walk away. It was only after several minutes and multiple passersby later that a woman finally intervened. Unfortunately, Wang Yue succumbed to her injuries days later. This incident not only sparked outrage, but also prompted a nationwide introspection in China about societal attitudes towards communal responsibility. Another impactful example comes from the stabbing of a high school student in New York City, witnessed by dozens of fellow students in 2019. Instead of intervening, many filmed the event on their phones, providing a stark modern twist to bystander apathy. The victim died, and the community was left grappling with the implications of their inaction, stirring discussions on the desensitization to violence and the ethics of recording violent incidents rather than preventing them. These cases underscore a grim reality. The bystander effect doesn't just result in statistics. It results in lost lives and profound grief that ripples through families and communities. Each incident is a painful reminder of what can happen when fear, conformity, and moral disengagement override our instincts to help. To contrast, let's not forget the times when intervention has made a vital difference. For example, during a shooting at a school in the United States, a teacher bravely tackled the shooter, preventing further harm. This act of courage, in the face of overwhelming danger, saved lives and highlighted the potential of what can happen when someone decides to act. Understanding these consequences in depth brings a sobering clarity to the importance of addressing the bystander effect. It's not just an academic topic for psychologists to ponder, but a crucial issue with real-life implications affecting all of us. In our next segment, we'll explore ways we can combat the bystander effect, drawing from both expert opinions and successful interventions from around the world. Stay tuned as we look for solutions and learn how we can shift from passive observers to active helpers in critical situations. As we have explored the grave consequences of the bystander effect, it becomes imperative to discuss how we can combat this deeply ingrained psychological phenomenon. It's not just about understanding the problem. It's about taking actionable steps to change the narrative from inaction to intervention. One powerful approach is through education and training. Programs like bystander intervention training have shown promising results. These programs educate people on how to recognize emergencies and encourage them to take action rather than assume someone else will. For instance, universities across the United States have implemented bystander intervention training to prevent sexual assault, teaching students specific tactics like distraction, delegation, direct intervention, and delay to safely help potential victims. Another strategy is the use of social influence in a positive way. Social psychology tells us that behavior is often influenced by observing others. If we can create environments where intervention becomes the norm, we can potentially reverse the bystander effect. Campaigns that highlight stories of successful interventions and that celebrate those who stand up and act can inspire others to do the same. Legal frameworks also play a critical role. In some countries, Good Samaritan, laws protect individuals from liability when they intervene to help someone in distress. These laws encourage more people to take action during emergencies by alleviating the fear of legal repercussions. On the other hand, some places have enacted duty to assist laws, where failing to help someone in peril can result in legal consequences. While controversial, these laws underline the societal expectation for individuals to act rather than remain passive bystanders. Let's visualize a scenario where these elements come together. Imagine a crowded train station where someone suddenly collapses. Trained in bystander intervention, one person shouts for someone to call emergency services while they begin first aid. Inspired by this decisive action, another bystander comes forward to help, and another offers their jacket to keep the victim warm. This chain reaction not only potentially saves a life, but also sets a precedent for everyone watching. To wrap up, combating the bystander effect isn't about transforming every individual into a hero. It's about shifting societal norms and empowering each person with the knowledge, legal backing, and societal support to act when others might hesitate. As we continue to push for these changes, we can hope to see a world where the bystander effect is the exception, not the rule. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the dark psychology of the bystander effect. By understanding and addressing this complex behavior, we not only enhance our personal integrity, but also strengthen the very fabric of our society. Let's not be mere spectators in life's critical moments. Let's be the ones who stand up and make a difference. As we conclude our exploration into the dark psychology of the bystander effect here on Knowledge Journey, we've journeyed through the intricate layers of human behavior. From understanding the psychological underpinnings to witnessing the harrowing consequences, and finally discussing practical solutions that can encourage action over inaction. We've seen that the bystander effect is more than just a social curiosity. It's a profound commentary on human nature and societal dynamics. It reflects our deepest fears and conflicts, but also our potential for courage and altruism. By dissecting this phenomenon, we aim not just to educate, but to inspire a shift in perception and behavior. Remember, change begins with awareness. Each of us holds the power to transform moments of crisis into opportunities for heroism, simply by stepping forward when others might step back. It's about breaking the cycle of passivity and fear with knowledge, preparedness, and a commitment to act. Thank you for tuning in to this deep dive on the bystander effect. As you move forward in your daily life, carry with you the insights and stories we've shared. Look out for opportunities to be that critical difference in someone's life, to not just be another bystander, but a proactive helper, a true Good Samaritan. Join us next time on Knowledge Journey, as we continue to explore more hidden facets of our psychology and society. Together, let's keep learning, keep questioning, and above all, keep acting. Because every journey of knowledge is not just about understanding the world better, it's about making it a better place.